Hello, and welcome to my high concept pitch presentation. My name is John Kester, and this is the Geometry Gauntlet. The Geometry Gauntlet is a game for the PC. This is a single player game that uses either a 12-button controller or traditional mouse and keyboard. The Geometry Gauntlet is a 3D game that alternates between using the first person and third person perspectives. The core mechanic is the ability to manipulate the different geometry in the game. The player will travel through the game in a first-person perspective, but will switch to a third-person perspective when the player chooses to manipulate different geometry. Geometry can be manipulated by being rotated on different axes, which will allow the player to experiment and explore alternate routes throughout the game. To show an example of the concept, we can see some geometry in front of the player through the first-person perspective. The geometry that can be manipulated is the gray shape. The red geometry are platforms and obstacles the player will have to navigate through and is part of the larger geometry. As a player interacts with the geometry, the camera shifts to a third-person perspective, giving a wider field of view to show both the player and the geometry as a whole. From here, the player will see controls displayed on screen and will be able to see how the object rotates and fits within the rest of the environment. Using the thumbstick, the player can rotate the square on its X, Y, or Z axis. Some geometry may provide different challenges and cannot be manipulated in the same way as others. For example, this piece of geometry is in constant rotation on one axis and cannot be rotated on the others. As the object is in constant rotation, the player can manipulate the rotation direction clockwise or counterclockwise. There are many different shapes that can be created, and each can offer a unique challenge that can alter gameplay. By experimenting with manipulating the different geometry, players can explore the game in a non-linear playstyle that also offers replayability. This concept is unique in that it allows designers to be creative in a way that forces them to think outside the box, by creating and using different geometric shapes that creates fun gameplay experience. As a high concept, this design can further allow for other mechanics to be implemented to enrich gameplay. As a player, the game teaches mechanics that will be easy to learn but difficult to master. With the game being played in a nonlinear fashion, the player can replay this game many times and find new results in how to progress through the game. My name is John Kester, and thank you for watching.